This is BGN, Biased Gaming News, home of up-to-date, factual, and unbiased gaming news, where gaming news is taken seriously. Now with your hosts, Michael G. and Leonard G.
Welcome to BGN. We're your hosts for tonight. I'm Michael G.
And I'm Leonard G.
And tonight we're bringing you even more hard-hitting stories. Zombie outbreaks, Lord of the Rings made by Koreans, PlayStation playing hard to get,
Gabe Newell playing hard to get, a new Pokemon game, and Xbox continuing to fail.
That's all good and well, but first, Leonard, how have you been? How's the divorce going?
Not good, Michael. She's taking everything.
Oh my.
But I am a half glass full kind of guy, and I'm happy to announce I'm keeping the Blu-ray player.
That's great, Leonard. That sounds like a triumph in my books.
Yep. And how about you, Michael? Did you actually find out it is an STD?
I did, Leonard. And yes, the doctor did confirm that it is in fact an STD infection with currently no known cure or treatment.
Oh, that's not good.
But I am also a glass half full kind of guy, and I'm hoping a cure will be discovered within the next 30 years before the symptoms start to take a serious toll on my mind and body.
It's being reported that Sony is pulling away from its strategy of porting its first-party titles over to PC. Releases such as The Last of Us, God of War, the Horizon titles, Ghost of Tsushima, and others have garnered huge praise for their multi-platform transitions, but it's also rumored that Sony believes that these ports haven't been totally financially successful as they had hoped. Sony seems to be returning to its original strategy of luring in gamers to their PlayStation consoles by restricting first-party releases strictly on their first-party hardware. PC Samurai sickos are anticipating Ghost of Yotei to hit the PC gaming space, but that doesn't seem to be the case after these recent reports. This news is upsetting the PC master race, as this decision by Sony makes them feel like less of a master race and more just another part in the never-ending console race. Many PC enthusiasts are upset about this news, such as this user who goes by the name January 6th was an inside job on Twitter, who had this to say about Sony's decision. I stole my dad's credit card to buy a $4,000 custom-made PC just to play Ghost of Yotei, and now that's not going to happen. Very disappointed in Sony. I have started a GoFundMe to pay for my hospital bill when my father finds out I used his card. He's knocking on my door now. I think The tweet abruptly ends there.
Oof. I hope he's all right.
Me too.
I think there's a lesson to be learned there. The boulder-punching, roundhouse-kicking, Jill sandwich behemoth of a series, Resident Evil continues to flourish after its most recent release. Resident Evil Requiem has sold over 5 million copies since its release on February 27th, according to Capcom. Many fans of the flesh-eating franchise as well as newcomers praise the recent entry for its dual protagonists, tight gameplay, and for once, gripping story. The story follows FBI agent Grace Ashcroft as she attempts to survive the horrors of yet another zombie outbreak, as she is followed by 51-year-old teen heartthrob Leon S. Kennedy. The game masterfully juggles the suspenseful horror gameplay of classic Resident Evil games and the intense action of the more bombastic titles. The game also brings back players to the city that started it all, Raccoon City. Heads will be blown off, torsos will be chainsawed, and questions will get answered in this sweat-inducing 9th entry. But if we want one question answered, it's how can Leon rock that same haircut since 1998? I mean, come on, Leon. 90s male protagonists called, and they want their hair back. Oh my goodness. Breaking news. My God, this is a big one. Apparently, it has been spotted from a single piece of concept art from Resident Evil Requiem that Leon is reportedly sporting a wedding band on his ring finger.
Wow.
This is huge.
Wow.
We also have news on the identity of this lucky individual. Is it the oddly absent Claire Redfield, the Asian persuasion Ada Wong, Four Eyes Hunnigan, or maybe even the president's whore daughter? We're getting an image now of the mysterious odd other half, and it looks like
I have a job to do, and I'm gonna see it through.
Oh.
Huh.
Oh, I wasn't expecting that.
Who would have
That's
thought?
quite the surprise for everybody.
Yeah,
yeah,
good for them, yeah.
Congratulations, yeah. It's What does South Korea, medieval fantasy, and long drawn-out development cycles that are so long they leave gamers thinking a game is totally fake have in common? Crimson Desert, the hotly anticipated medieval fantasy action-adventure game from South Korea-based developer Pearl Abyss. After 2 significant delays, the potential Game of the Year contender is finally trekking for a March 19th release date, and gamers from all corners of the sweaty gaming ecosystem are hyped. The game is described as having an overwhelming amount of content for players to enjoy, which comes to no surprise, as Pearl Abyss is known for its successful MMO/hot chick character creator, Black Desert. Early players are already comparing it to Red Dead Redemption 2 in terms of all the small details littered throughout the game. With the game less than 2 weeks away, many gamers, including ourselves, are hyped.
Guess what? I can read minds, and I know exactly what you've been thinking lately. What's been going on with Bethesda Softworks' Starfield?
Nobody's been thinking that.
Well, do I have some news for you? Rumors suggest the PlayStation 5 port is rocketing to an April release with an announcement due by the end of March. That means all 5 PS5 users who were curious about the game finally get to dive into the uneventful, procedurally generated universe that is Starfield. But what about the other 5 fans of Starfield who have already ventured into the creation engine mess and are hungering for more? It is believed the PS5 release of Starfield should include the previously teased 1.5 update and the Terran Armada expansion, which Bethesda claims fixes issues while adding much-needed space exploration to the game. Will the release to a new console come too little and too late? Probably. Will the 1.5 update, which Todd Howard himself said don't get too excited about, suck fans in for another 100 hours? Signs point to no. Will the Terran Armada expansion make up for the underwhelming Shattered Space expansion released back in 2024? Let's not get too ahead of ourselves. I can also read one more thing that's been on your mind. Bethesda working on Starfield for the last 10 years is the sole reason we still have 2 more years until The Elder Scrolls 6 and another 7 years for Fallout 5.
So you mean to tell me if we didn't get Starfield, we would probably be playing Elder Scrolls 6 by now?
It wouldn't surprise me if we were playing The Elder Scrolls 7 and Fallout 7 by now.
Wow.
Such a shame.
Such a shame.
That Todd.
25 years in the making. It doesn't seem like that at all.
It's going to be 25 years in the making for The Elder Scrolls 6 here soon.
Assassin's Creed fans better start swabbing those poop decks, because in a recent blog post from the sinking ship publisher Ubisoft, they all but announced one of the worst kept secrets in recent years: the announcement of the Assassin's Creed Black Flag remake, Assassin's Creed Black Flag Resynced. In the blog post, they stated to fans to keep your spyglass on the horizon, as well as provided a concept art image of what looks like could have easily been concept art for the original 2013 title. Many fans are concerned though, because over the last few titles, Ubisoft has been continuing to put the ass in Assassin's Creed. 2 asses, to be specific. As the franchise continues to sail down a salty sea lane that brings the beloved series further away from what made it so great to begin with. Ubisoft couldn't even create a spiritual spin-off of the swashbuckling sequel with Skull and Bones without wasting over 10 years and millions of dollars. Rumors about this unannounced title have been floating around like flotsam since 2023 and have become more and more obvious as the years went on. Can Ubisoft revitalize the Assassin's Creed franchise after the lukewarm reception of the last few titles? Can they take the ass, or should I say two asses, out of Assassin's Creed? Probably not.
Yeah, probably not. Assassin's Creed Black Flag Resynced will probably be a bigger catastrophe than January 6th happening on the Titanic as it's sinking. In an effort to quell the turmoil surrounding Xbox lately, Microsoft have just confirmed their next generation console codename Project Helix. Although I think we can all agree a better name would have been Project Phoenix. It has also been confirmed that the next generation Xbox console will be able to play Xbox and PC games, which has been rumored for a very long time. With this news, we think this is a good time to pay tribute to our good friend, Papa Phil Spencer. Phil was best known for his contributions to bring Xbox back from the grave during the rocky Xbox One generation, only to kill it dead again before he left the company. Some would say it almost seems poetic, others pathetic. However you feel about his time at Xbox, there's no denying the Microsoft bigwigs eventually got to him and sucked the life force right out of him, judging by his appearance before and after being the CEO of Xbox.
Oof, he looks rough.
Oh god, he looks terrible. Either way, Phil Spencer, enjoy retirement and enjoy using your pension to pay for coke and Brazilian hookers, you
Some unfortunate news for those who are looking forward to getting their hands on Valve's new console PC hybrid, the aptly named Steam Machine. Reportedly, Valve had to push back the release of this highly anticipated machine along with their new Steam controller and Steam frame. Valve has blamed this delay on memory and storage shortages, but some also claim this delay could have been prevented if Valve CEO Gabe Newell would stop going on so many deep-sea expeditions on his private super yachts. These deep-sea expeditions are said to be strictly for research purposes, not for discovering new marine life, but to discover the next best endangered species seafood for Gabe to devour, and therefore make extinct, and to continue his ongoing moniker of Gabe the Devourer.
In other news, a new Pokemon game was announced.
Long forgotten game from January 2026, Highguard has shut down its servers due to a lack of a sustainable player base. Since its announcement at the Game Awards just 4 months ago, this game has been surrounded by sorrow and confusion. The problems first stemmed when this game was chosen to be the final announcement at the Game Awards, when everyone was expecting a Half-Life 3 reveal, or at the very least, the long-awaited Fallout 3 remaster. When yet another live service PvP game showed up instead, the awe and wonder of the crowd slowly turned into dejection and misery. From that moment on, Highguard was given a bad reputation that it could not shake. What is to blame for this game's failure? A lack of interest in yet another live service game? The game's generic presentation? Jeff Keighley? Or is it a culmination of all those things? Whatever it may be, there's no doubt the whole situation with this game was an enigma and will surely join the likes of the recently released Sony live service game Concord that also left the building almost as soon as it entered. There may be some good in this story though. Maybe next year we'll finally get a final announcement at the Game Awards that actually warrants the spot.
And that's all we have for tonight, folks. Once again, the gaming industry is a shining beacon of good news and prosperity.
At least we have Crimson Desert to look forward to once we all realize it's a single-player game littered with half-baked MMO schlop. we can rip the band-aid off and hopefully enjoy it for what it is.
Thanks for joining us, folks. I'm Michael G.
And I'm Leonard G.
And keep wiggling those joysticks. Good night.
This is BGN Biased Gaming News, home of up-to-date, factual, and unbiased gaming news, where gaming news is taken seriously.